Hey y'all, welcome back. It is me, Britt Reacts, and we're back with part two. Really the second half of the craziest courtroom moments of all time video. I asked you guys if you wanted to see the other half, and most of you said yes. So we're gonna jump right into it right now. All right, so we ended with the father of three. His crimes are just diabolical. That's where we ended. So we're going to jump into the end of his sentencing hearing. Yeah, that's what you call it, right?
Definition of insanity, but there's clearly something fundamentally wrong with you.
Ferguson was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
I see y'all in hell.
This is Randall.
That is truly the state of a man who has just given up on himself. He's completely given up on himself. I saw someone wrote a pretty long comment about what I said at the end of the video, basically saying he was wired wrong. And they, to summarize the comment, were saying I think that person said they had spent 20 years in jail or prison and it does something to you. And essentially you just never know what someone has encountered to get them to that point. So it may not be how they're wired, but what they've had to do to survive their current situation. What I say to that is, yes, that is true. But when you've done a heinous thing, I don't care what prison did to you. You did a heinous thing, and then you have no remorse. Better yet, you have no remorse, and you're being you're continuing to be a horrible human being. So I'm just saying. All right, what's this one?
Y'all in hell.
This is Randall Moore. He is facing 3 life sentences for crimes against his former wife, Therese Ann Lynch. Lynch had left her husband and filed a protective order against him. This resulted in Moore kidnapping and killing his estranged wife. Officer Todd Rowland responded to the cries from the apartment, where he was then shot and wounded.
I've been hit.
Okay, 303 Adams been hit. Officer
he
down.
shot the officer.
Suspect armed with 20 shells. Advises nobody come to the door as he will shoot again.
Shortly after, Moore had a phone call with a 911 dispatcher. Listen as he explains his motives.
I didn't want to do any of this.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
Not long after, Moore surrendered, and for Officer Rowland, he underwent surgery for his hand. As the verdict is read out, Moore gives nothing but a slight nod.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping in the first.
Not yep. This sounds like an episode of Snapped. To what? I mean, if you just want to see your 7-month-old son, why do you think that was the way to do it? Now he doesn't get to see either of his parents.
In the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of kidnapping
Look
in
at
the
these
first
people
degree.
just
Guilty of
breaking,
sexual abuse
suffering.
in the first degree. Guilty of attempt to commit murder.
At
I'm
Moore's
sorry, he
sentencing,
assaulted her
Lynch's mother gives a victim
sexually
impact
as
statement.
well.
You did to my daughter, Therese Ann Marie Lynch, was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
I'm so glad they used her maiden last name and not his last name. So glad.
Lynch was evil, hateful, and despicable. You are now dead and rotting and repulsive to me.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you.
Thank you, Judge.
She hated you. You're a loser.
Moore refused to apologize for his actions, saying he had no remorse for what happened.
And I'll tell you point blank, I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Therese Ann's death. It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
But now comes the judge.
If anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were,
Oh, piece of
before
work
you
is
start
nice.
talking, they know it now. The court doesn't
I know
allow
that.
me to punish you any more than I'm doing now. If I could, I would.
Moore was given a total of 3 life sentences plus 25 years for the attempted murder.
I bet you the judge wish he could have said something else. The restraint, the discipline these judges have. Because I would do a mean read, okay? I mean, read you for filth, and it would not be PG, babe. It wouldn't be PG, babe.
This is David Ranta. He spent 22 years behind bars for a murder he did not commit. In Brooklyn, New York, Ranta
Why
was
is it always
arrested
New
by
York?
Detective Louis Scarcella. Ranta
Oh,
was
the
put
same
in a police
guy.
lineup run by Scarcella and was identified as the shooter. But decades later, reportedly, the key witness revealed that the detective had provided him with a description of whom to pick in the lineup.
Okay, so if you guys remember, there was also I don't remember his name. I just remember he was a black gentleman. That also was falsely accused by Scarcella. So it seemed like this officer was more about closing a case and looking good for himself than being a good human and not causing innocent men to spend decades behind bars. Whatever happened to him? Why are we not seeing his crazy courtroom moment?
Revealed that the
Disgusting.
detective had provided him with a description of whom to pick in the lineup. There was no physical evidence linking Ranta to the killing, and the evidence presented to the jury
22
was allegedly
years.
fabricated. Ranta was then
Gone.
convicted and sentenced to 37 and
Oh,
a
he got
half
37 and a
years
half
to life in
life.
prison. But after spending over 2 decades
Oh,
in
he
prison,
got that,
the
sorry.
former witnesses admitted that they were pressured into testifying against Ranta. And now, this is the moment his conviction gets thrown out.
Mr. Branta, to say that I'm sorry for what you have endured would be an understatement
Amen.
and grossly inadequate, but I say it to you anyway. The defendant's motion to vacate the judgment of conviction is granted.
After his handcuffs were removed, he hugged his family. With all he owned thrown over his back,
Thank you all. Thank you.
he walks out a free man. After his release, he reportedly received $2 million
Not enough.
from the state
Not
and
enough.
a $6.4 million settlement from the city of New York.
Not enough. Add some zeros. Not enough. What that was a man you could tell had just kind of accepted what he knew was wrong, but his fate, like his response to the judge freeing him was so calm. I can't even imagine 22 years sitting in a jail cell. I would just wake up every day and be like, why me? How did this happen? Why did I get there? And these are the moments where like faith is tested, because it's like, why did this have to happen to me? Why is this my story? This could be any of us. This could literally happen to me. You guys, I've been in a situation. I don't know if I told the whole story before, and I don't have time to tell it now, but I was with someone who was falsely accused of robbing a grocery store, and we were pulled over and separated, put in police cars as they completely disembodied both of our vehicles, like took our seats out of our cars looking for the money from this robbery. Because what happened was, whoever the clerk was at the convenience store, we could have gotten a fat check. Now that I think about this, y'all tell me. The clerk at said convenience store, they put him in the back of a cop car and rode around the area, and this person saw the person I was with and said, "That's him." And based off of that alone, we were both detained and for hours held in the back of these police cars in the movie theater parking lot as they searched our cars. And then we told them our steps the whole day, and they went back to each place and got footage. We went and saw a movie. That's why we were in the movie theater parking lot. And this happened as we were coming out. They got footage of us buying the tickets, going into the movie theater, coming out at the same time that said robbery was happening. And like 3 hours later, with not even a sorry, they were like, "You're free to go." Our cars were like spread out all over the street. I was maybe 24, 25. This happened in Long Island. If you want more details, or if you feel like I have a case, call me. My email is all over this page. It's a true story. But to think like I could have easily been a case of mistaken identity and spent time in prison because one person decided my fate. Anyone who endures and survives and comes out and can live a fraction of a normal life, I wish you well beyond well. And $8 million isn't enough.
A $6.4 million settlement from the city of New York.
It's not enough.
This is Diana Lovejoy. She used to be married to Greg Mulvihill living in Carlsbad, California. But soon their marriage fell apart and they divorced. After a messy divorce and lots of legal trouble, it ended with the court ordering Diana to pay $120,000 to Greg for his stake in their family house. The court also ordered that she must share custody of their son. Diana became furious about hearing the court orders. So she planned to kill her ex-husband by teaming up with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso.
He like
by
LeBron
teaming up
James.
with her boyfriend.
He looks like LeBron James's daddy. I don't know what his real dad looks like, but like, doesn't he look like LeBron James's father? Maybe, or maybe like LeBron James in 60 years. Not even like 20 years if he wasn't like filthy rich and able to age backwards. Girl, whatever they said you did it. You and him together, y'all did it.
Weldon McDavid. Greg was shot in the torso.
Oh, but he lived.
Luckily, the bullet didn't hit his heart, and he survived. Both McDavid and Diana conspired to murder, and the court has sufficient evidence against them.
It's so painful that
some
people in this world
cue the white tears.
I would have it in me to do this.
Interestingly, she fainted in court. She lowered her head down toward the defense table for a few seconds.
Verdict. We, the jury,
She practiced that in her cell,
defendant,
y'all. She practiced
Diana
it.
Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill.
And right when you hear guilty, you hear a thud.
Guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
It silenced the courtroom, aside from hearing her family cry in the background.
Karen tears, Karen tears, Karen tears, Karen tears. I say this in all of my like Karen videos. These are the fake tears that like people call white tears, Karen tears, because like, girl, nothing's you practiced this. You looked in the mirror and practiced this and told yourself it was Emmy award winning type acting. It's not. I feel like I've seen a clip of this right here.
She then is brought onto the floor.
Eyes
and when
wide
medics
open.
bring her out, she still appears to be passed out. But doctors later found out she had only fainted. Weldon McDavid received 50 years to life in prison because he was the one that pulled the trigger. And Diana was sentenced to 26 years to life in prison. This is Bass Webb, who has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder in Lexington, Kentucky. You can see on this security camera, Webb tries to run over 2 employees at a jail he recently served time at. Now, at his first court appearance, the judge is about to remove herself from the trial because she knew the 2 employees.
Matters, no one ever tried this case or have any further proceedings, or I'll have to see you for one further second.
And now Webb is about to shock the courtroom. He just spit on the judge. The judge wipes the spit off and then kicks him out of the courtroom. Turns out Webb has a very dark past. When he was behind bars, he was charged for the murder of 2 different girlfriends. He was found guilty of the killing of the first girlfriend. Now he's on trial for the second. Webb showed up to court with a tattoo on his head that listed people he wanted to kill. At the bottom was 3 rats crossed out. During the trial, Webb showed no remorse and the jury found him guilty. The judge sentenced Webb to life in prison for his crimes. This is Camia Gamet, who is prison for his crimes. This is Camia Gamet, who is charged with the murder of her boyfriend in Jackson, Mississippi. Reportedly, the attack happened during an argument between the 2 individuals and ended with the boyfriend being violently stabbed to death. Gamet was arrested on first-degree murder charges. In court, Gamet would claim her murder was in self-defense and her boyfriend was attacking her. But in the end, she was found guilty of murder.
The way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off hospitalized.
We now move into the sentencing, where Gamut reportedly kept interrupting the judge.
You're gonna shut your mouth or I'm gonna have some duct tape put on it.
With Gamut showing no remorse,
Another
the
judge?
judge had some final words.
You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
In the end, Gamut was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This is Kyandria Cook, who was found guilty of carjacking charges in Volusia County, Florida. 18-year-old Cook and her then 17-year-old boyfriend.
That's crazy. We used to live in Volusia County. It's Volusia, not Volusia. Like literally, that's where we moved from when we left Florida, was Volusia County. Wow, okay.
In Volusia County, Florida, 18-year-old Cook and her then 17-year-old boyfriend had used a dating app to set up a carjacking, where the boyfriend reportedly shot the victim, leaving him seriously injured.
For a car.
After fleeing the scene and being on the run, the pair attempted another carjacking just 2 days later, but they were arrested. Now in court, Cook stands in front of the judge for her involvement in the theft and shooting.
She's laughing.
Guilty of all 3 charges, sentence you to 20 years in state prison.
Yeah, lost your
That
life,
is Cook's
baby.
mother that can be
Lost
heard
your
crying.
life, baby.
Reportedly, the reason for this very emotional outburst is there was a miscommunication with the assistant public defender, where Cook and her mother thought she wouldn't face any prison time.
Play stupid games, get stupid results. I can absolutely understand a mother being devastated hearing such words, especially like I would just like if that was ever me, and God, I pray that that's never me, but like I birthed this human, and to see right now, this is where you are. You've created such a heinous life for yourself by doing something so stupid. I would break down and lose my mind too. And I think sometimes people like will be like, how can a family, it's like, yada, 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 yada. And it's like, but you got to understand, yes, they probably know she's full on guilty, but it's still the reality of like, you know what they say when these people commit crimes? It's like 2 families lose people at this point. This is a young girl who clearly made stupid decisions. I don't know what the influences were or what even the reason was, but I'm sure her mother never imagined in the 18 years of her being alive that she would see her daughter have to spend 20 years in court, and then to not be mentally prepared because they were accidentally given the wrong information on top of that. Her mama might have had some cause to like just have an outburst, but girl, see you.
Cook's sentence was later reduced to 11 years in prison. This is Joel Delgado. He's currently being brought to the Pulaski County Courthouse in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's brought into court to face multiple charges, including residential burglary and theft of services.
Joe,
Reportedly, during his
eyes.
arrest, he claimed he was injured, so he was brought to a hospital. Now, the sheriff deputy is currently escorting Delgado into the courthouse to face his charges. But steps before they enter the door, Delgado loses his shoe, which just might be a distraction for his getaway plan.
What'd you say, OJ? Hey, you see a shoe back there?
Gone. He gone.
Where is it?
He's gone.
With Delgado being in a neck brace and a wheelchair, it appears he can't walk, but he sure can run. Delgado then bolts across the street and down an alley.
Oh, I'm gonna catch you, baby.
Oh, I'm gonna catch you, man. I'm gonna shoot
The
you.
deputy seems to lose him and searches through the streets looking for the suspect.
Hey, can you call the police for me? Call the police for me. Call the police. What way it go?
Was he not the police?
Cut that way. What's your phone? My damn
Was that not a
radio
police?
came up.
Oh.
And I tried to get him. Hello. The wheelchair dude got up and ran. Yeah. I couldn't
Why
catch
wasn't
him.
he cuffed to the
The
chair?
wheelchair dude. I couldn't catch him. Hell.
After no luck, the deputy makes it back to the front of the courthouse.
The wheelchair dude ran. He had a neck brace on and all that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Didn't need that wheelchair very much, did he?
Hell no.
The deputy then meets up with his colleagues and breaks the news.
dude ran, man. Dude ran? Man, yeah. What? He took off? Yeah, I couldn't catch that dude. He jumped the rail.
No, you jumped the rails. He cut the corner. This is the best one of the video. This is the best. This is like a TV show.
He just ran. Took off on you, man. Yeah.
And he had both his shoes on. He took them off.
However, the suspect's freedom was short-lived as he was caught a few hours later, where he claimed he was injured and couldn't walk again. And now he faces an additional charge of third-degree escape. Reportedly, Delgado has pleaded not guilty to all charges against him.
Let's make sure we strap him down or cuff him to the wheelchair next time. Jeez. He was running. He was cuffed. That was entertaining.
This is Ronnie O'Neal. He
I've
is a
seen
double
this
murder
one.
suspect in Riverview, Florida.
He represented himself.
O'Neal was 29 when he fatally shot his then-girlfriend Kenyatta Barron. Following this, he murdered their own daughter by striking her multiple times with a hatchet.
Oh my, I
She
did
was
not
only
know that
9
part.
years
I'm sorry. I didn't know that part. Oh my God. Not that it mattered. I've only seen like clips of him doing the outburst and no one really talking about what the case was about.
Daughter by striking her multiple times with a hatchet. She was only 9 years old. O'Neal also stabbed their 8-year-old son before pouring gasoline all over the house and setting it on fire. O'Neal was arrested upon fleeing the burning house. The son was able to escape but was critically wounded and suffered from burns. The first 911 call on the incident was from the girlfriend who was heard screaming before suddenly hanging up. 8 minutes later, another call came in from O'Neal.
911, what is your emergency? Hey, I just been attacked by some white demon inside Kiki. Kiki, her name is Kiki, and she tried to kill me. What's she at? Huh?
After the arrest, O'Neal was psychologically cleared to represent himself in court. During the trial, he cross-examined his now 11-year-old son, who he stabbed, to which the son explained everything that happened.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did I hurt?
Yo, children are resilient. Children are resilient. This little boy was... Oh...
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
You stabbed me.
O'Neal also accused the prosecution of fabricating evidence.
Because he's playing a fraudulent damn recording of me beating Kenyatta Barron. I did kill Kenyatta Barron.
After O'Neal was found guilty at his sentencing, the judge went on to say this was the worst case she's ever seen.
This is the worst case ever in my life, and I have seen some horrors.
He also stated that he was not sorry for what he did.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
O'Neal was given a total of 3 life sentences plus 90 years without parole. And for O'Neal's son, he was adopted by the detective who cared for him the night of the murders.
But the trauma that baby is going to have to live through from the incident all the way through the courthouse and having to face his... Why do we make children have to do stuff like that? Oh, my heart is breaking.
The detective who cared for him the night of the murders. This is Esteban Carpio. The police were questioning him for the stabbing of an 85-year-old woman in Rhode Island.
Is that a spit
In the
mask?
interview room was Carpio and 2 detectives. One of the detectives left the room to get water for Carpio, leaving just him and Detective Sergeant James Allen in the room. Carpio grabbed Allen's gun and then shot him twice, killing him. He then jumped out of a window which was 3 stories high and made a run for it, but was apprehended just 45 minutes later. At his arraignment, Carpio came in wearing a mask designed to stop the offender from spitting and biting at others. With also his face being in rough shape, it stunned the courtroom. It wasn't so much Carpio with the shocking reaction, more so his family members, making accusations of police brutality.
Step off.
Chances are, if he had to wear a spit mask, he was spitting on people and then he got beat up. Maybe they tased him under his eyes. I don't know, but it sounds like he needed it.
I'm not guilty! I'm not guilty, Steven!
It's gross police brutality. He was mentally ill. And
He
needed
was?
help, and we couldn't get him. We tried and tried. And he didn't deserve this.
An FBI investigation
deserve
concluded that
2
the
black
police
eyes,
did
but
not
that
use
officer-
excessive force, and that Carpio's injuries were sustained due to his jump from the 3rd floor of a building.
Hello?
and
Oh, I
struggle
forgot
with
about that
law
part.
enforcement.
Every day I face the facts of what I did and what happened.
Good.
He
Keep
was
facing those
sentenced to
facts.
life in prison without parole.
See ya.
Sentenced to an
Fire the security guards. This is why security guards should actually be in agile state and like have maybe take a stamina test, because they just gave up as soon as they hit the stairs. 4 of them, who, if I could just use my eyeballs with what I saw, looked potentially out of shape. Also, this is such a stupid teenage thing to do. It's like 21 weeks, bro. Just do the bid. What is that? 21 weeks. 3 months? I don't know, Joe. It ain't that long. And now you got an extra 6 months. For stealing a phone? Bruh, take your L. Oh, teenagers are so stupid. Oh, at least you're together.
This is Jessica Groves, who, along with her husband,
What'd they
Daniel
do to the
Groves,
kids? What'd
are
they do to
both
the kids?
charged with the murder of their own 2-month-old child in Portsmouth, Ohio.
Tell the jury how you killed this baby.
It was an accident.
Not your excuse. How did you murder this baby? How
Oh,
did you
yeah,
cause
we
this
love a
injury?
savage
Reportedly,
prosecutor.
when the father found the child unresponsive, he later testified he didn't alert authorities because his wife threatened to blame him. That's when the child's body was found at the bottom of a 30-foot well inside a milk crate, wrapped in plastic. Reports found that the child suffered fractures to his skull, arms, ribs, and leg. The mother and father had initially pleaded
see
not
ya.
guilty, but in a shocking twist, Miss Groves takes full responsibility for the killing of the child.
Jessica, did you and you only cause the death of your son, Dylan Groves?
Yes.
Did Daniel Groves participate in the killing of Dylan?
No.
Was Daniel Groves aware of any of the injuries?
They must have gave her a plea deal. Just don't have kids. Don't have kids.
That you
2
caused
months?
that may
What?
have
What?
led to his death?
No.
Did you hide all injuries that you caused Dylan from your husband?
Yes.
Prosecutors initially claimed they were both responsible for the child's death, and now they demand the truth.
How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries?
I have sit here and admitted
Answer the question, please. How did you cause these injuries?
it was an accident
Not your excuse for what happened. How did you cause these injuries?
by dropping him.
How did you cause that first 2-inch skull fracture?
I don't remember. I've admitted to my guilt.
How did you?
And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand. Tell them how you caused that injury.
Toddler.
Miss Groves is unable to remember how the child was killed, but she claimed she is the sole reason for the child's murder and acted alone.
My client, Jessica Groves, was and still is a drug addict. There is no doubt about that.
Here we go. Here we go.
And she alone caused the injuries to Dylan Groves, which led to his death. She murdered Dylan Groves.
Groves was found guilty on all 11 counts.
So was the accident taking the drugs? Was the accident dropping the baby? Like, see ya.
And was given
Get a
life
haircut while you're in
prison
there,
with
girl.
no possibility of parole. Her husband was cleared of aggravated murder, but he was found guilty on the remaining 10 charges
Yeah.
and was sentenced to 47 years to life in prison.
Because you still went along with hiding it.
This is Kimberly Long, who was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison for a murder she never committed in Riverside, California. Long arrived home and discovered her boyfriend dead. She immediately called 911. Despite being the person who found the dead body, Long ended up becoming the lead suspect. She was soon convicted of second-degree murder and sent to prison. But 7 years later, forensic evidence showed that her boyfriend died long before she had arrived at the scene, and there was DNA of an unknown male at the crime scene. The conviction now gets overturned.
The judgment of conviction is vacated and a new trial will be ordered.
Long is now outside of prison. The prosecution soon dropped all existing charges.
I feel happy, elated, relieved, just a lot of emotions right now.
Long reportedly received $386,000 from the California Victim Compensation Fund.
Not enough.
This is Anthony Kirkland, who is a convicted serial killer in Cincinnati, Ohio.
They say I am evil and a monster. They're right. Even my mom hated me, but I don't blame her.
Kirkland had previously served a 16-year prison.
There was no soul in that voice. I just want to be clear. There's nothing there. Nothing.
Prison sentence for the killing of his ex-girlfriend. A few years after his release, Kirkland begun his killing spree over ex-girlfriend. Kirkland had previously served a 16-year prison sentence for the killing of his ex-girlfriend.
Listen to me. You kill someone, you're done. Why are we giving people 16 years and the chance to leave and do it again?
A few years after his release, Kirkland begun his killing spree. Over a 3-year period, he killed 4 women, 2 of them being teenagers. Kirkland was arrested after his 4th murder, as he was caught with one of the victim's watch and iPod, which made him a lead suspect. Eventually, police were able to pin all the murders to Kirkland. Now in court, as the charges are being read out, Kirkland is facing the death penalty, and next, he appears to faint.
Count 4, aggravated murder.
Kirkland was later found guilty on all charges and sentenced to death. He is currently on death row awaiting his execution at the Chillicothe Correctional Facility.
Go and have the day you deserve. That's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.